Joining me to look at the issue of hate in San Diego County are my guests, Oscar Garcia. He's a San Diego Hate Crimes Unit District Attorney, and Edgar Hopida with the Council on American-Islamic Relations. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Edgar, we have a large Muslim community in El Cajon. What's been the reaction to this death?
First is shock, but also they feel that maybe they're under siege because there's a possibility that might be a hate crime. So that's the perception. Whether or not it is a hate crime or not, it's still to be decided. But they feel like that their community is under siege.
Before this happened, was there ever some talk or feeling that, in fact, there was this kind of prejudice or hate within the community?
Well, I mean, just generally, Muslims have been, since 9/11, the target of being maligned and looked at. So, but as far as it going all the way toward violence, that's something that we haven't really experienced as much in the county, thank God, as opposed to other areas of the United States.
Now, you're very careful to point out if this is a hate crime. We don't know whether it is. Now, I know, Oscar Garcia, you can't speak specifically about this case, but can you give us an idea of the frequency of hate crimes in San Diego County and the nature of those crimes?
Certainly. Well, over the last few years, we actually had a decrease statistically in hate crimes in San Diego County. Back in 2006, there was a spike of about 30% increase in hate crimes, and unfortunately in 2010, it spiked up again about 30%. So we should always be vigilant in regards to these cases. We want the public to certainly contact the police immediately, even if it doesn't rise to the level of a hate crime, if it's what we refer to as a hate incident, name calling, slurs being used towards people who are different than the attackers.
What are we talking about then for hate crime specifically?
In order to determine and file charges for a hate crime, we need to have significant evidence that the motivation for the crime was a bias, a prejudice towards the victim. So if someone is attacked with a weapon or there's vandalism, we have to show that additional element of the motivation of the perpetrator, that it was bias motivated.
And we know that there's been an increase. Do we know how often it happens, though, in the county?
I receive cases in which the perpetrators have been identified, so I pretty much get the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of other cases where, unfortunately, a lot of these cases go unsolved.
And are there
go ahead.
certain areas in the county where this happens more in other areas?
I think historically East County has gotten kind of a bad reputation, but I can honestly say over the last 5.5 years prosecuting, I have cases from throughout the county, from South Bay to North County to downtown.
Edgar, have you ever been a victim of prejudice or hate, or someone in your family?
My wife was a victim of an anti-Muslim hate incident at Horton Plaza Mall. A couple went up to her and said, she's Filipino, by the way, and she's from Canada. They said, why don't you go back to Iraq? And this was during the, the Iraq War. So very disturbing, coming from downtown San Diego.
And how do you, I mean, that was a name-calling incident. How do you kind of get over this? I mean, Oscar, this question goes to you as well. I mean, people who are victims from really a range of hate, how do you get over that incident and kind of try to recover from that?
Well, studies have demonstrated that victims of hate crimes take more than twice as long to recover emotionally, because it's such a personal thing about their skin color, their religion, and they feel that there's nothing they can do to make themselves less at risk to being attacked in the future. And when they share that story with their loved ones, their community, they may feel the same way. That's why these cases are very different, and that's why we have additional penalties for them.
Oscar, when you look at these cases that come to your desk, do you ever think, I can't believe this is still happening?
Absolutely. One of the early cases I had was out in East County, unfortunately in East County, where the victims tossed a Molotov cocktail into their residence, something you kind of think back in the South, back in Mississippi in the earlier part of our century, that these things were still happening.
Now, Edgar, what does a community do now to sort of move forward and to make sure there isn't some retaliation right now?
Well, what we're trying to do is first calm the waters, say that let the police do their job. Let's not call it a hate crime until it's determined that's a hate crime. And, I think we had positive, feedback from a lot of people, people from other faiths, other religions, saying, what can we do to support and help you guys? And that's why we're going to be holding something, later on, or in the evening with this memorial.
Okay, Edgar and Oscar, thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.